plain, brown, cardboard box sat on the white carpet of the office between the cluttered shelves and the computer desk. Its contents were mostly ordinary: some CDs, memory cards, a few books. But one object caught my eye. Tucked in the corner of the box was a round, white, convex piece of plastic with the faded blue lettering Spox on its side. In my curiosity, I picked the object out of the box, the frayed string resting softly on my palm. To the ordinary observer, this was a cheap trade show toy. To me, it was an uncut gemstone. My yo-yo endeavor began that fateful day. It was the summer of my 4th grade year, and in the sunshine of my youth, I would always look for new ways to entertain and challenge myself. Yo-yo was the perfect outlet. For hours at a time, the first few days after I found my dad's yo-yo, I would wind the soft cotton string in the gap, drop the yo-yo, watch it spin, and try to yank it violently up. I continued at these futile attempts for weeks, but I was unable to perform any tricks beside watching the yo-yo spin out in the bottom of the string. Often frustrated, I would remove the knot from my finger, throw the yo-yo down, and do something else. But I always came back to the mesmerizing, magical feel that yo-yo instilled in me, a feeling of serenity, of gentle waves in my mind as I defocused on the world, lost in the revolving object at the end of my string. Through my determination to master the art of yo-yo, within a month, I was able to perform basic tricks: the gravity pull, sleeper, around the world, and yes, walk the dog. At first, my parents were indifferent about my new hobby. Just another phase, they probably thought, and at least he's not bothering us. But as my yo-yo skills slowly began to improve, my parents took notice and began encouraging my new hobby. My mom began to tell me stories of my great uncle Bill, who competed in regular yo-yo competitions when he was a kid in the 50s in central Illinois. His skills were phenomenal. He could do 500 consecutive loops with his wooden yo-yo, which would take him hours and invariably leave the other kids in awe of his proclivity for yo-yo. Fascinated by the tales of my uncle, I became ever more determined as I aspired to reach his level of skill. Through my perseverance, by spring of my 5th grade year, I had started to perform more complex, interesting tricks, and my interest started to shift from idle fun to a more serious venture: competitions. One weekend during the summer, my parents drove me to the toy store Yo-Yo Loco in Breckenridge to compete in a local competition. Excitedly, I ran through the thronged pavilion of whirring toys, meeting people from throughout the state. One person in particular caught my attention: Chief, a rotund, older man with glasses and cargo shorts, one of the only other people from Colorado Springs. Throughout the day, I talked extensively with him as we practiced tricks in the pavilion, and he told me he was thinking of starting a club in the Springs. A year later, Chief's vision materialized as he founded the Colorado Springs Yo-Yo Club, with me as the original member. Over the next few years, my yo-yo skills continued to improve. I was placing well in contests and even became the Colorado Junior State Champion during my 8th grade year. But as I have grown older, I have begun to yo-yo less than I once did. As school has captivated my free time, I've grown more distant from my hobby. My yo-yo case sitting against the wall, old strings on my dresser, yo-yo sitting forlornly on my desk. It saddens me to think that my once invigorating love of yo-yo has dwindled as other activities took priority: robotics, debate, Boy Scouts. But the joy I once felt with a yo-yo in my hand will never diminish. Some Saturdays, I still attend Yo-Yo Club to see Chief, and he has continued to mentor and support me on my yo-yo journey. More than this, however, yo-yo has continued to be a creative outlet for me, as I can throw for hours in the cool darkness of my room, defocusing on the world around me. Since the day I found my dad's old yo-yo, the joy of creativity captivated me to continue my hobby, and my determination for constant improvement will continue to drive my success, not just in yo-yo, but also in life.